Hey there! Are you feeling overwhelmed and wondering how to stay calm when it feels like your world is falling apart? You're in the right place because today we're talking about something we all face at some point. What to do when relationships fall apart. Whether it's a breakup, a friendship ending, or drifting away from someone you care about, the emotional storm can be heavy, to say the least. It feels like everything you built is crumbling, leaving you to pick up the pieces. But here's the thing, heartbreak doesn't have to be the end. It could be a turning point. In this video, we'll be drawing from the wisdom of Stoicism to help you find your footing again. Unlike advice that tells you to just move on or stay busy, Stoicism offers something far more profound. A way to find calm, strength, and clarity in the middle of emotional chaos. You don't need to shut off your feelings or pretend everything's fine. Small changes in how you view and respond to your pain can make all the difference. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell to stay tuned for more videos like this. Take a deep breath and exhale slowly. You've got this. Heartbreak hurts, but it can also be a chance to grow stronger and wiser. Are you ready to turn that pain into strength? Let's begin. Understanding emotional turmoil through a Stoic lens. Heartbreak doesn't announce itself with gentle whispers. It arrives like a storm, ripping through your carefully built world, leaving you standing amidst broken pieces of what once felt unshakable. In those moments, it's easy to feel consumed, like the pain will never subside. But pain, as the Stoics remind us, isn't a permanent guest. It's a fleeting wave that eventually crashes and retreats. Marcus Aurelius spoke of the mind as a fortress, capable of standing firm even when the world outside crumbles. To understand how to remain calm, we first need to recognize the nature of heartbreak itself. Emotions in their rawest form are powerful, and that power is amplified during a breakup. It feels as though every emotion, grief, anger, regret, has merged into a single overwhelming tide. Think of the ocean during a storm. Waves rise higher than you thought possible, and the sound of crashing water drowns out everything else. But no storm lasts forever. The Stoics believed that emotions, while natural, are temporary. They come and go, and it's our reaction to them that determines whether they control us or we remain free. At the center of Stoicism is the idea that while you can't control external events, you can control how you interpret and respond to them. Breakups are a perfect example of this. Someone walking away or a relationship ending isn't entirely within your power to prevent. Yet the agony we feel often stems from our expectations, the belief that things should have gone differently or the hope that the love would last forever. When reality doesn't match those expectations, our minds start to spiral. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher, reminded us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The Stoic approach doesn't dismiss the pain of heartbreak. It acknowledges it fully. It invites you to face the pain rather than bury it. By understanding that pain is part of the human experience, Stoicism helps you see heartbreak not as a personal failure, but as a shared part of life's journey. Think of the seasons. Winter isn't a punishment for the warmth of summer. It's simply a part of nature's cycle. Similarly, relationships come and go, each one bringing lessons, joys, and yes, sometimes sorrows. When you look closely, heartbreak has a way of teaching you truths about yourself. It holds up a mirror, reflecting your fears, your attachments, and even the parts of you that need healing. This is where the Stoic perspective offers its greatest gift, the reminder that every challenge, including the ending of a relationship, is an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." In heartbreak, what feels like an obstacle is often the very path to becoming stronger. Still, it's hard to see the opportunity when you're consumed by sadness. You may replay conversations in your head, second-guess decisions, or cling to memories that make it harder to let go. This is where the Stoics urge us to examine what is within our control. You can't change the past. You can't make someone love you again, but you can change the narrative you tell yourself. Instead of seeing the heartbreak as an ending, look at it as a moment of transition, a shift from one chapter of life to the next. The hardest part of heartbreak is letting go of the attachment. Stoicism reminds us that attachment to things outside our control, whether it's people, outcomes, or even happiness itself, sets us up for suffering. Epictetus famously advised us to hold everything in life loosely, as if it were borrowed and could be taken back at any moment. This doesn't mean you shouldn't love deeply or care about people. It means understanding that love and relationships are gifts, not guarantees. When you learn to embrace this mindset, the weight of heartbreak begins to lift. There's also power in stepping back and seeing the bigger picture. When a relationship ends, it's tempting to zoom in on the pain, focusing only on what you've lost. But what happens when you zoom out? A breakup doesn't define you. It's one part of the journey. Just as a garden goes through cycles of growth, decay, and renewal, so too do our lives. This perspective doesn't erase the pain, but it helps you make peace with it. Pain, after all, is a teacher. It strips away illusions and forces you to confront the truth about what you value and who you are. Without the discomfort of loss, you might never grow into the person you're meant to become. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often reflected on the fleeting nature of life. He understood that everything we cherish, relationships, possessions, even life itself, will one day fade. This was a reminder for him to live fully, appreciating each moment for what it is, temporary, yet precious. So finally, you might ask, what exactly does it mean to approach heartbreak through a Stoic lens? It means allowing yourself to feel the pain without being consumed by it. It means recognizing that while you can't control the end of a relationship, you can control the story you tell yourself about it. It means shifting your focus from what you've lost to what you've gained, the lessons, the memories, the strength to move forward. Finding calm in the midst of pain. When your heart is heavy, the world feels different. Colors look dull, familiar places lose their comfort, and silence becomes louder than words. Heartbreak pulls you into its orbit, making it hard to think beyond the ache. Yet, this is precisely the moment when staying calm becomes essential. It's not about suppressing the pain or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about learning to hold steady in the chaos. Pain demands to be felt, but it doesn't have to control you. This is where the teachings of Stoicism become a lifeline, offering both clarity and strength when you feel lost. The first step is to pause before reacting. In the heat of heartbreak, it's natural to want to do something. Send a long message, replay arguments, or search for closure in places it can't be found. But Stoic wisdom reminds us that action taken in a state of desperation often leads to regret. Think of a shaken snow globe. When everything is swirling, you can't see clearly. Only when you allow it to settle does the scene come into focus. This settling is what Marcus Aurelius referred to when he wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, The pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Practicing mindfulness is one way to create this pause. Mindfulness doesn't have to be complicated or spiritual. It's simply the act of noticing your emotions without letting them dictate your actions. Sit quietly with the discomfort, observe the thoughts racing through your mind, and remind yourself that they are just that, thoughts, not truths. Journaling can be an invaluable tool here. Writing down what you're feeling can help you untangle the knots of your emotions, giving you a clearer picture of what's really happening beneath the surface. A crucial part of finding calm is letting go of attachment. When a relationship ends, it's tempting to cling to the past, replaying memories and wishing things had turned out differently. However, as Epictetus taught, don't demand that things happen as you wish, but wish that they happen as they do, and you will go on well. This isn't about suppressing your desires or pretending you're unaffected. It's about accepting reality for what it is, rather than fighting against it. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop resisting the truth. One of the most brutal truths to accept is that people are not ours to keep. No matter how deeply we love, relationships are ultimately a partnership of two individuals, each with their paths and choices. When someone chooses to leave, it doesn't diminish the love that was shared. It simply marks the end of that particular chapter. By releasing the need to control the outcome, you create space for healing and growth. This space also allows you to see the lessons hidden within the pain. Every heartbreak carries wisdom, though it may not reveal itself right away. Perhaps it teaches you the importance of self-worth or highlights patterns in how you approach relationships. Pain sharpens awareness, showing you where you may have placed too much weight on or ignored your own needs. These realizations, while difficult, are gifts, reminders that growth often comes through discomfort. The Stoics believed that adversity is not just inevitable, but necessary for building character. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. To move through pain, you must also permit yourself to feel it." There's a misconception that Stoicism is about emotional suppression, but this couldn't be further from the truth. Stoicism teaches us to acknowledge emotions without being ruled by them. Grief, anger, and sadness are natural responses to loss. Suppressing them only delays the healing process. Allow yourself to cry, to mourn what was, and to honor the love that existed. Just as a wound must be cleaned before it can heal, your heart needs time to process before it can mend. As you begin to accept the reality of the breakup, you may notice a shift in your perspective. The intensity of the pain starts to fade, and clarity emerges. You realize that heartbreak, while painful, is not the end of you. It's a part of your journey, a moment of transformation. Like a phoenix rising from ashes, you have the opportunity to rebuild yourself stronger and better than before. This doesn't happen overnight, but with patience and intention, it is possible. Finally, consider the concept of impermanence. The Stoics often reflected on the fleeting nature of life, not to cause sadness, but to build appreciation for the present moment. Everything we experience, love, joy, pain, is temporary. This doesn't make it meaningless. It makes it precious. When you understand that all things pass, including heartbreak, you can face the pain with a sense of calm and trust in the process of life. Heartbreak is never easy, but all you have to remember is that the storm will pass. And when it does, you'll find yourself standing not as the person you were before, but as someone wiser, calmer, and ready to embrace life's next chapter. Rebuilding yourself after loss. When a relationship ends, it often feels like a part of you has been torn away. The person you once leaned on, shared dreams with, and built a life alongside is suddenly gone, leaving behind a void. It's natural to feel sad, but this is also the point where true transformation begins. Breakups, as painful as they are, strip away what no longer serves you and create space for rebuilding, piece by piece, stronger than before. One of the first challenges after a breakup is rediscovering who you are outside of the relationship. It's easy to lose pieces of your identity when you've shared your life so closely with someone else. Maybe you gave up hobbies you loved or adjusted parts of yourself to fit the relationship. Now is the time to reconnect with those parts of you that may have been overshadowed. Ask yourself, who am I when I'm not trying to be someone's partner? This question isn't always easy to answer, but it's worth exploring. Each answer is a step toward reclaiming yourself. Rebuilding yourself starts with small, deliberate actions. Take time to engage in activities that bring you joy or challenge you in new ways. Maybe it's a hobby you left behind or something you've always wanted to try but never did. These moments of exploration aren't just distractions from the pain. They're tools for rebuilding your confidence and sense of purpose. The Stoics often emphasize the importance of aligning your actions with your values. By doing things that genuinely resonate with you, you begin to rebuild a foundation rooted in authenticity. There's also power in solitude. Yes, it can feel intimidating at first. When you've been used to sharing your time and energy with someone else, being alone might feel like an unwelcome reminder of the breakup. But solitude isn't loneliness. It's a chance to reconnect with yourself. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the importance of retreating within. Nowhere can a man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his soul. Gratitude plays a vital role in this rebuilding process. It might sound counterintuitive to practice gratitude during a time of loss, but it's a perspective shift that can change everything. Instead of focusing solely on what's been taken away, look at what remains. Maybe the relationship helped you grow, introduced you to new ideas, or brought moments of happiness that you'll carry with you. These are things to honor, not erase. Gratitude doesn't mean dismissing the pain. It means acknowledging the good that existed alongside it. As you rebuild, resilience becomes your greatest ally. Resilience isn't about pretending you're okay or pushing through the pain without acknowledging it. It's about learning to adapt, to rise each time life knocks you down. The Stoics viewed challenges as opportunities to strengthen character, believing that adversity was the forge in which virtue was tested and refined. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body." Heartbreak is painful, but it could be an opportunity to build resilience, to prove to yourself that you can endure and emerge stronger. This process of rebuilding isn't just about returning to who you were before the relationship. It's about becoming someone new. Breakups often force us to confront parts of ourselves we've been avoiding. Maybe it's a lack of self-confidence or an over-reliance on external validation. Whatever it is, heartbreak shines a light on these areas, giving you a chance to address them and grow. This is not an easy path, but it is a meaningful one. With each step, you'll feel yourself becoming more grounded, more self-aware, and more in tune with what truly matters. It's also essential to focus on cultivating self-compassion. After a breakup, it's easy to fall into patterns of self-criticism, replaying mistakes or wondering what you could have done differently. But self-compassion is about treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Recognize that you're human, that you're doing the best you can, and that healing takes time. The Stoics were big believers in self-discipline, but they also understood the importance of balance. Treat yourself gently as you go through this process. Also, remember that another crucial aspect of rebuilding is creating a vision for your future. Heartbreak often feels like the end of a story, but it's actually the beginning of a new chapter. Take time to imagine what you want your life to look like moving forward. What goals do you want to pursue? What kind of person do you want to become? Use this vision as a guiding light, something to focus on as you take steps toward healing. The Stoic principle of living in accordance with nature can guide you here. Align your actions with your values and aspirations, and you'll create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. Forgiveness is another part of rebuilding, though it's often one of the hardest steps to take. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning hurtful actions or pretending everything is okay. It means freeing yourself from the burden of anger and resentment. Holding on to these emotions only prolongs your suffering. Letting go doesn't excuse the past. It allows you to move forward. This is as much a gift to yourself as it is to anyone else. Rebuilding after loss takes time, patience, and effort. It's not a straight line, and there will be moments when the pain feels overwhelming. But with each small step, whether it's reconnecting with a passion, practicing gratitude, or envisioning your future, you'll find yourself moving forward. Heartbreak has a way of revealing what truly matters, showing you what you're capable of, and reminding you of the strength you carry within. You may not have chosen this path, but with this mindset and resilience, you can transform it into something meaningful. Embracing the future with wisdom. After heartbreak, the future can feel like a blank canvas, a difficult, uncertain space where nothing seems clear. The familiar plans you once clung to have disappeared into thin air, and all that remains is the question, what now? This uncertainty can be overwhelming, but it's also an invitation to embrace life with wisdom, to shape a future guided not by fear or regret, but by a deeper understanding of what truly matters. A critical step in moving forward is releasing bitterness. Heartbreak can leave behind anger or resentment toward the person who left, toward yourself, or even toward life for being unfair. These emotions are understandable, but they are also a heavy burden to carry. The Stoics remind us that anger harms the one who holds it more than the one it's directed at. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who hurt you." Forgiveness isn't about excusing the pain, but about freeing yourself from the chains of bitterness. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or invalidating your feelings. It means choosing peace over resentment. Forgiveness, however, is not just an act toward others. It's something you must also extend to yourself. In the aftermath of a breakup, it's common to dwell on your perceived mistakes or replay scenarios where you believe you could have acted differently. But this self-blame only deepens the wound. The Stoics encourage us to focus on the present moment, reminding us that what's done cannot be undone. Instead of agonizing over the past, reflect on what it taught you. Mistakes are not failures, they're lessons. The person you are today is wiser for having faced those experiences. With the weight of resentment lifted, you can begin to create a vision for your future. This isn't about rushing to fill the void left by the breakup or trying to move on as quickly as possible. It's about redefining what you want your life to look like moving forward. Take time to reflect on your values, the things that truly matter to you, and let them guide your decisions. Maybe the heartbreak has shown what you really want in a future partner or shown you areas of personal growth to focus on. Use this clarity to set intentions, not just for relationships, but for your overall life. As you begin to embrace the future, it's essential to balance hope with acceptance. Epictetus advised, "Make the best use of what is in your power and take the rest as it happens." This mindset allows you to move forward without clinging to specific outcomes. Instead of fixating on how things should turn out, focus on taking meaningful steps each day, knowing that the journey itself is where growth and fulfillment are found. Cultivating trust in the process doesn't mean passively waiting for life to improve. It means actively engaging with the present while surrendering control over what lies ahead. Breakups often make us hyper-aware of uncertainty, which can lead to anxiety about the future. But Stoicism teaches us that uncertainty is not something to fear. It's the natural state of life. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think." While this may sound sad, it's actually a call to embrace life fully, appreciating each moment without taking it for granted. Part of embracing the future is understanding that pain is not the enemy. Heartbreak has a way of sharpening your perspective, showing you what truly matters and what doesn't. It strips away illusions and false comforts, leaving you with a clear sense of who you are. This clarity is a gift, even if it comes wrapped in sorrow. By sitting with your pain and learning from it, you transform it into something meaningful. The Stoics believed that suffering, when approached with courage and wisdom, could become a teacher. While the pain may take its time, it doesn't have to define your future. Begin by taking small, intentional steps toward the life you want to build. This could mean setting new goals, exploring passions you've neglected, or building your connections with friends and family. While these actions seem small, they create momentum. Over time, they remind you that life continues and that it's full of opportunities for growth and joy. As you look toward the future, remember that life is a series of cycles. Just as seasons change, so too do our circumstances. The emptiness you feel today will not last forever. With time and effort, new connections, experiences, and joys will take root. Trust in this process, even when it feels uncertain. Heartbreak, painful as it is, often serves as a turning point, a moment when life nudges you towards something greater than you imagined. The path ahead may not be clear, but it is yours to create. One step, one decision, one moment at a time. The future is not something to fear. It's an open space filled with possibilities, waiting for you to shape it with intention and wisdom. Kudos for taking this journey and learning how to stay calm when relationships fall apart. We hope this video has given you practical tools and a new perspective to navigate heartbreak with clarity, strength, and resilience. Remember, pain doesn't define you. How you grow through it does. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step toward becoming the stronger, wiser version of yourself. Thank you for watching. If this resonates with you, don't forget to like, share, and follow for more content to help you live with wisdom, purpose, and strength. You're not alone on this journey. Stay grounded, stay courageous, and we'll see you next time.